Hi guys, I'm Erica. Thanks for coming to my channel. This is the What Are My Book Habits tag. We all know what a tag is, so I won't spend too much time discussing that. But this is one of those where it's like, where do I read? What do I eat when I read? All that kind of good stuff, you know? Alright, so I have the questions here on my phone. Alright, so let's just jump right into it, okay? Do I have a certain place at home for reading? Yes. In my bed. I mean, I can read on, like, the couch or whatever, and I don't mind it, but absolutely reading in my bed is the greatest thing I've ever done. And I will not ever get tired of it. So yeah, definitely my bed. That is my favorite place to read. Bookmark or random piece of paper? Neither. I am one of those horrible people. Let me grab my current book, and this is a book that's going to be featured a lot in this video. I dog ear my pages. I absolutely dog ear my pages. It's so easy. And I figure that if you're not, making a book your own, you shouldn't be reading a book. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Again, opinions and everything. Alright, number 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I can just stop. If I can wait till the end of a chapter, like if I can continue until the end of a chapter, I'd much rather do that. But, I mean, this one doesn't have chapters. And then if I'm reading on my Kindle or if I'm reading on my phone or whatever, I usually just have to stop wherever because I don't always get the luxury of, reading to the end of a chapter. Do I eat or drink while reading? Yes. Eating is a little bit more difficult, but I absolutely do it. I was eating powdered donuts in bed earlier for my breakfast, and I was also reading a book then, like a physical book, so there's powdered sugar on some of my pages, but you know what, it's okay. I am not the nicest person to my books, but they are very well loved. Multitasking, music or TV while reading? No. It's really hard for me to concentrate on my one thing at once. I can multitask if it comes to like work related issues, where it's like, okay, I'm helping this person and I have to remember this list of drinks for that table and I have to remember this food for this table. Like that I can do. But I can't do visual and audio at the same time. Like I have to have those separated. At least while reading. So like if I'm intaking visual books, then I can't listen to anything that's going on outside. I don't know. It's one of those where like it really distracts me. If I'm in the car, I can kind of do it because there's so much stimulation going on otherwise. Like there's a lot of other visual, there's a lot of other audio that I can't just tune out. There's also physical, like where the car is moving. So it's easier for me to read with background noise in like a car. But if I'm at home, I can't have the TV on, I can't have music going. I prefer to have my cats very quiet so I can concentrate on my book. So yeah. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once? Several at once. I think I have 2 or 3 on my Kindle I'm going through. I have this one I'm going through. I've got 2 on my bedside table. And then, yeah. And then I usually like to read like a chapter of a book if I want to see how it goes. So if we're counting those, then I have like probably 7,500 started. But no. Yeah, no, I read multiple at once. I have, excuse me. So I have this one, which is a memoir. I have a children's book series that I'm reading. I have a dark gothic romance that I'm reading right now. Let's see. And then what's the other one on my Kindle that I'm reading? Let me pull that up here really quick. Oh yeah, and then I have like a horror book that I'm reading as well. And those are, I mean, they're all pretty good. So my horror book is Tenders the Flesh, and that's written by Augustina Bazterrica. I don't know if I said that right. That one is taking me forever to get through just because it is such a heavy topic. I won't talk about it on here just because I don't want to get like flagged for community violations or anything, and we all know that would happen. But I'm reading Her Soul to Take, and that's by Harley LaRoe, and that's really good. That's the dark gothic romance. And then Life's That Way by Jim Beaver is the memoir I'm going through. And then I have the Walls of the Beyond series. I'm on the second book of that one right now. But I read like a handful of chapters, maybe every couple of nights for that one. That's just one of those, you know, relaxes the brain before you go to sleep kind of thing. Alright. So, what's the next one? Because I clicked out of it. Alright. Reading at home or everywhere? Everywhere. I always have books with me. Whether it's just my phone or if I have my Kindle in my bag. Because I have the Kindle app on here. But I always have Kindle books with me. I try to keep a physical book with me as well. So yeah, I read everywhere. I read in a car, I'll read on planes, I'll read at dinner, in restaurants. I actually prefer reading outside of the house just because if I'm in a public setting and somebody comes up to me, I can just be like, kind of thing where I don't have to talk to them. So yeah. Also, let me know if like this camera setup works for you guys, because I don't know. Okay, I'm trying new things. I'm trying to get my bearings straight with everything. Okay. Reading out loud or silently in your head. That is question number 8. And reading in my head. Absolutely. I make facial expressions. I'm very talkative with my features, but not so much with my words. I read in my head. I will read out loud to my husband. I'll read out loud to the cats if they're nearby. But for the most part, I read to myself. And if someone wants me to read a passage to them, then absolutely. I remember in college, my second roommate, she had a really hard time like reading stuff, so she was very much an auditory audiobook kind of person. And we had to read like 3 chapters out of our mathematics textbook. And she was like, "Erika, can you read it to me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" That was a mistake. I mean, it's not a mistake for me having helped her, but it was a mistake for the fact that I couldn't understand what we were talking about. But she understood it enough to the point where once I read it to her, she was able to reteach it to me. Is very confusing. I hated that teacher. Okay. Number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? I read ahead without meaning to. My eyes just like jump down to the bottom of the page, and it makes it really difficult, especially if I know that there's something big going on. Like my eyes just skip paragraphs or it'll skip entire pages, and I hate the fact that I do that. I try not to. I also on purpose skip parts, like if it's just a lot of not necessarily world building, but if it's just like unnecessary content, I will jump. I'll jump either that paragraph or something. And if I'm reading and I figure out, you know, those 3 paragraphs later that I missed something, I'll go back and read that section. But if I can skip like 3 or 4 paragraphs and not worry that I've missed anything, then I'm okay with it. Breaking the spine or keeping it like new? I don't intentionally break the spine. Like, I don't just crack it, but I don't worry if I do. Like, books are there to be read, they're there to be loved, they're there to be worn, like, get worn down kind of thing. So I don't mind if the spines are cracked. I don't mind if pages are bent. I don't mind if I have, crumbs in my books. I mean, I do mind, but it's not like it doesn't warrant me buying a new book for it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. And number 11, do you write in your books? Yes. I am heavily annotating this book. There's a sticky on basically every page that I've read of this book so far. And that's because I'm going to have this book signed by the author come October, so I need to finish reading this. And that's a challenge because I am only this far into it. Like, I have this much left, and I've only read this much. Read. I've only read that much. But I have... Yeah, so I annotate, I underline. I don't necessarily highlight. I don't like highlighting. I'll pick that up. Yeah, so I mean, I make little annotations in some of the margins. And they're not even necessarily like massive annotations. Like on this page, I have 2 annotations. I have one bracket set, and that is surrounding the quote, "How in the world can anything bad happen anywhere if there are this many good and kind people around?" And then on the very next page, I have, it's a little pillow, a little red heart-shaped pillow, and I just made the note that I was wondering if they still have that pillow. So yeah, by the way, Life's That Way is a very depressing book, but it is a very powerful book. Jim Beaver is an actor. He was on Deadwood, he was on Supernatural, he was on The Ranch. He's a very, very prolific actor, and he's very, very important to myself because he was on Supernatural, and that's where I first met him. And then I'm going to a Supernatural con in October, and I managed to get a signature. Like, I bought a signature for Jim Beaver, and I'm hoping that he will sign my book for me. I got this book actually off of thriftbooks.com, and it's, a library book. You can tell it has like little library marks right here, and everything is glued down very heavily, so I can't undo them. But I love it. It's not even a story of Jim Beaver. It is, but it's the story of his wife Cicely and their Dottie, and their daughter Madison. And when Madison was very young, she was diagnosed with autism, and not long after being diagnosed with autism, Cicely, who is a very healthy, mid-40s woman, didn't smoke, ate very healthily, was diagnosed with like stage 4 lung cancer. So this is the memoir of that issue, and it's very, very good. All right. Oh, that was everything. All right, so I hope that was a decent enough video, and that you guys, got to learn a little bit more about me. And again, let me know how you like the camera kind of thing. This is just my computer camera. And then I have my new little microphone that I'm trying out, so let me know how you like the audio. And yeah, anyways, I will see you guys hopefully soon. I just need to get better at, uploading. I'll make a video regards to that. Alright, I don't think there's anything else, but if you guys like this video, be sure to click that like button. If you have any questions, or if you have any comments or any concerns or anything, leave them down in the comments below, because I will read anything you guys put. And since I don't have very many followers right now, I will, reply to everything. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that little notification bell if you like my content and want to see more of it. Alright, yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for being on my channel, and I am really bad at goodbye.